All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Wild Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord. We're going to be edified. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahab, Rakakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, of great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to give a shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgments of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. And I got another lesson I want to bring out through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. As you see on the screen, little girl remembers past life in 1954. And basically, I just want to touch on a couple of scriptures going into the reincarnation or regeneration that we have through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that we've came back several times. And everybody else pretty much came back several times as well. So I'm going to hit this video, hit a couple scriptures, and Lord willing to be edified.
So you still think that reincarnation isn't real, right? Watch this cute little old soul. Listen.
In what days?
Back in the olden days, I used to have an apple and bread.
Who used to feed you apple and bread?
In the olden days, these little lunch ladies.
What olden days are you?
The olden days in the 1954, we didn't have tables. We had cardboard chairs.
Yeah, I did.
And cardboard chair shapes.
Really?
Cardboard chair shaped tables.
Where you get this from? Where you get this from?
1954. I was in 1954.
You was in 1954?
Yes.
So you been here before? So you been on this? You been here before?
Yes, I've been in the 1954 in the old food.
In old food?
Yes, but back in here, ooh, they got old food.
What they got?
You know how tater tots taste in the olden days? They used to taste sweet.
They did?
Yes.
She is recalling her past life in 1954. And she's making that very clear to you if you didn't hear it on the first or the second time. And for the people in the back, 1954. She talks about them sitting on cardboard furniture, tables and chairs. And of course I got the receipts. Look at that. She talks about back in the olden days. What child do you know at that age refers to the past as the olden days? And when she talks about the tater tots tasting sweet, of course I do the research. I always do when I'm doing past life regression because I want to look at the facts. I want to look at the breadcrumbs and make sure that we're on the right track. 1953, the company Ore-Ida came out with tater tots. And back in those days, the potatoes that were used to make this food had a slightly sweet taste to it because of the natural sugars that were in the potatoes. Reincarnation is real. The soul is eternal. Okay?
And that shows you plainly that that little girl remember her past life. The spirit never dies, man. That's what's keeping his body hot. The spirit. So you touch somebody when they die, they usually turn cold because the spirit has left them. And that goes to show you that the Lord continues to bring back spirits over and over and over again. No one just lives once. And that's how they teach you here in Babylon the Great, that you live once and you die. That's not true. The spirit is what the Lord takes from your body. You go back in the heavens. You sleep until the Lord brings you back again. And these videos show you that these children are recognizing, or I ain't gonna say recognizing, but remembering that they was once here on the planet, man. Let's check this out.
You believe in reincarnation? Well, what about the 4-year-old that told her parents she missed her children and she wanted to go home? In 1930, a 4-year-old girl named Shanti Davy refused to eat the food her mother made her. And then when her mother asked her what's wrong, she told her mom, "That's not how you make it." Her mother laughed and said, "How would you know?" And she said, "I cook for my husband and my children all the time." Her parents looked at each other like, "What is wrong with this baby?" But as the days went by, she continued continued to describe her other life. She described a house in Mathura, a city that was 90 miles away, a small clothing shop that her husband owned, 3 children that were hers, neighbors' names, and the streets that she had never visited before. She kept asking her parents, "When can we go home? I miss my children." Looking down at this 4-year-old child, her parents thought she might be becoming mentally ill, so they took her to the doctor. But when the doctor evaluated her, he said that there was nothing wrong with her, except he didn't know why she was making up these stories. By the time she was 7, Shanti's stories became even more elaborate. She described the details of the interior of a home that she had never seen. And then she spoke about giving birth, details that no 7-year-old child should ever know. She said she was in so much pain and she was trying to stay so that she could see her children one more time. But after the baby came, everything just went dark. She died right after she gave birth. After hearing the details of her incredible stories, when Shanti was 10, her teacher came up with a bright idea. She decided to write to the man that Shanti was describing at that same address that she said to ask him if the details of her stories were true. Did he really have a shop? And did he have a wife that died 10 years earlier? A few weeks later, the teacher received a reply in the mail, and she could not believe what she read. The man said that yes, his name was Pandit. He did own a small clothing shop, and yes, he had 3 children and a wife who had died 10 years earlier, the same year that Shanti was born. Shanti's parents were shocked. Could this really just be a coincidence? Shanti's former husband, Pandit, couldn't believe the letter he received either, and he decided to make a test by sending his cousin over to Shanti's family's house to see if the girl would recognize him. Pandit's cousin made the trip to Shanti's family's home, and when he knocked on the door and introduced himself as Pandit, Shanti's former husband, she looked at him and said, "You're not my husband, you're his cousin." The cousin went back and told her former husband, Pandit, something strange is going on. So Pandit decided.
So you can't make that up. You can't make that up. She had too many details on reason why that she was that woman pretty much in her past life. She remembered the birth of her children, and she died in that dream, not in a dream, but in the story she had told. Man, she even told her teachers along with her parents. So he goes to show you, man. This is this is undoubtedly the truth, man. We are spirits coming back. And the scripture tell you that you come back in your 3rd and 4th generation. Let me get that real quick. That's in Ezekiel, not Ezekiel, but Exodus. It's really in 2 places. You can look it up. I'm going to just get it in Exodus 20. That's in the, hold on, let me get back to it. This is Exodus, and I'm going to get back to the videos. This is Exodus 20 in verse, I think it says 5. Yeah. This is Exodus 20 and 5. It says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of thy fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me." And this is basically shows you this is in the 10 Commandments, man. Now let's get it in Exodus 24, Exodus 34, Salakia. Exodus 34, it tells you come back in your 3rd and 4th generation. And I was thinking the other day, man, how my middle son is a lot like my granddad, and his attributes and the way his body type is, it's a lot like my granddad. And I was like, man, maybe you can't remember, you don't remember form of things, but it's the spirit the Lord put on these different children for them to remember their past lives. This is Exodus 34:7. It says, keeping the mercy of for thousands given iniquity and transgression and sins. So, let me read that again. It says, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sins, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and the fourth generation. So you come back in your third and fourth generation. So sometimes you can kind of count back if your bloodline, your father through your fathers. You can normally count that back and kind of see. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing you should do, but like I said, I was just thinking about my son, how he has the attributes of my grandfather, my dad's father, and not saying that's him, but like I said, it just brainstorming. I was like, man, that's what if it is? But check this out, man. And these are newborn babies.
Granny baby. Oh, he waved it. I got that on camera. Put that baby down and she woke up. Hi, girl. Big.
You got the hiccups again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Praise Jesus.
Hi. Always put your head down.
He wasn't.
Legend, say hey. Hey!
Is she flipping me off? Yes, she is.
The middle finger.
Dinosaur says.
Whoa! You gonna touch me again? Whoa!
Do you?
And see, none of those was AI videos, man. It shows you, man, that the spirits are, are coming back, man. And not only that, this spirit right here knows that it's a transition of power coming, man. And some things you can just watch and see and just see how people act, and they know that something is coming, man. And like I said, they know, so the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua has blessed us to understand the scriptures. And this right here shows you, man, these spirits are they don't die, man. Because she's gonna say something in this video that let me just play it.
Oh, a little bit faster.
What's that?
A bit faster.
I can't do it faster.
Yeah, you can. Drop. Up. Nice.
Oh, he's a slave driver, but it's okay. I understand. The tables are turned as it should be. Right?
Yes.
I'll be a slave. I don't care.
I'm your master today.
Good.
But pick that ball up and put it in the air. There you go. Good, last one. One more. Do one more. All the way up. All the way up. Good.
Oh, yeah, but look at the master. Look, did you ever see a cuter master? I mean, the slave is totally ugly, but did you ever see a cuter master than that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I know.
But you were probably there.
What?
But you were probably there.
Where?
Doing those times a little bit. Not those.
Oh, yeah, I was born like 300 years ago, yes.
You said she was there 300 years ago, and she, you know what I'm saying, you watch these videos, you can start to see how you read spirits, man. So when you understand the scriptures, you can read spirits, understand what they're trying to basically express. Like she said, he was slave master. And is rightfully so that you should be in that position. That's what she told, and he didn't have a clue what she was speaking about, man. But we know through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what she said is going to happen. And she said she remembered. Now she said she didn't say she remembered. She said she remembered 300 years ago. So This right here, man, it shows you, man, this reincarnation is biblical. You've lived many times, man. You done died many times. You just don't live once and then just die and that's it, man. The spirit is fire, man. It's this the Lord don't put out spirits, man. But he's only spirit he's gonna put out is Esau. He's gonna quench his fire. This is Ecclesiastes 1 in verse 9. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So we know it's no new thing under the sun, not even people, man. The way we've lived is basically just the Lord does it again, man. The Lord is always doing things over and over and over. And you this all through the scriptures, man. Verse 10, it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time. And that goes to show you what those little girls are saying. When that little girl was saying, this has been of old time, man. Because she said her words was, the olden days. And I remember my grandma used to speak of that. They used to speak of the olden days, what happened, back in, when she was living there. I think my grandmother, she was 66 when she passed. And she remember as a little child, she remember things she did as a little child, man. I can't remember everything she said, now. She's been gone for what, about 7, 8 years now? But she used to speak of the old times. Verse 10 again, it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. See, which was before us. So every spirit comes back. The ones, because basically the way the Lord had set up the first fruits of your family. The first fruits is the first man in your line, your bloodline. And that how your generation comes back, your third and fourth generation. So, so that not to get off on that, but it all makes sense when you start to put the scriptures in position to understand them, man. Verse 11, it says, therefore, it's like there is no remembrance of former things. So we're not going to remember our past lives. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you was doing in the past, you more likely you're doing now. But the Lord didn't put His Spirit on us to remember everything of old. Like I said, that little girl, she remember glimpses of things that happened in the past, but that's not everyone. It says, therefore, there is, I keep saying therefore, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that that shall come after. So you're not going to remember this life and you're going to remember your past life. You're not going to remember it, man. Let me get to the NLT. It says, we don't remember what happened in the past. See, we don't remember what happened in the past and in future generations. See, we're not going to remember that, man. No one will remember what we are doing now. See, you're not going to remember what you did in the past, and you ain't going to remember what you did now. The Lord got this thing set up so beautifully, man. This is Job 14 in verse 5. It said, let me get it in NLT. It says, you have decided the length of our lives. See, this is the Lord. He decides the length of our lives. You know how many months we will live, and we are not given a minute longer. So you can't change your future. That's why you always got to say, Lord will I do this, or Lord will I do that. You can be put to death today. It says, so leave us alone and let us rest. And this is, Job was speaking about being in the spiritual world. He said, let us rest, because you go in, when you die, your spirit goes back to the Heavenly Father, and you rest until your time to come back in your third and fourth generation. He says, so leave us alone and let us rest. We are like hired hands. So let us finish our work in peace. Even a tree has more hope. If it is cut off, if it is cut down, it will sprout again. And that goes to show you that even the plants die and they live again. That's why you have a new year. The fall hit, everything dies, then it comes right back. That's reincarnation, man. Because that's the reason why Esau kills. He basically makes everything seedless, because he don't want you to continue, but he don't want those crops to continue to come back. He wants them to die off. And this right here goes to show you this man is the devil, man. He doesn't. He hates life. He says, verse 4, Job 14:7 NLT. It says, even a tree has more hope. If it is cut down, it will sprout again and grow new branches. It says, though its roots have grown old in the earth and its stumps decay, at the scent of water, it will bud. See, at the scent of water, it will bud, man. So that goes to show you that even the animals' reincarnation, man. They continue, the spirits keep coming back, man. It says, sprout again like new seeding. It says, but when people die, their strength is gone. See, when people die, their strength is gone. They breathe their last. And then, where are they? It says, as waters evaporate from a lake and a river disappears in drought, people are laid to rest and do not rise again. So when you die, you don't have the power to gain your spirit again. Like Esau, what he's doing, he's putting people in those hyperbaric chambers, basically to try to bring them back, man. I know one famous guy that he is in a hyperbaric chamber now is Walt Disney. See, they put Walt Disney in a hyperbaric chambers basically to make him rise again, to put his spirit back in him, and no man can retain the spirit, man. This is, like I said, man. Esau is a mad scientist, man. That's why AI is it's a movie. Matter of fact, it's a movie. I just watched that shit the other day. It's called Transcendent. Well, basically, it's Johnny. I think it's Johnny Depp. I think he's the lead role in it. But basically, what he does is uploads his spirit. Uploads his not his spirit, but his he uploads his well, basically he puts his spirit into the computer. Pretty much what this microchip is going to do. Upload your spirit into into shit, you might well say these computers, man. That's what these data centers about. It's another movie that they did the same thing. It's called Chappie, where they uploaded the guy's spirit into a robot. This is Esau's plan, man. Verse 14, this is Job 14:12. It says, people are laid to rest and do not rise again until the heavens are no more. They will not wake up nor be roused from their sleep. See, when you, like I said, when you die, the Lord lays you to rest. You come back in your third and fourth generation. It says, I wish you would hide me in the grave. And this is Job, man. Job, he didn't want to be here, man. He wanted to be, he wanted to be in the spiritual world. He says, he says, I wish you would hide me in the grave and forget me there until your anger has passed. Because basically, when you come into the flesh, man, you go through hell, man. Nothing you can do the way Esau lives now. He's in his kingdom. This is his kingdom. He's in rulership. And Job understand everything the Lord is doing to us is punishing us because of the sins we committed against him. It says, mark your calendar to think of me again. So Job wanted to be in the spiritual world until the Lord curses was off of us, man. He didn't want to be punished. He didn't want to see that no more, man. It says, verse 14, it says, can the dead live again? If so, this would give me hope through all my years of struggle. See? And he knew that we would live again, man. He knew reincarnation. That's why he asked, this is a question. He says, can the dead live again? So he asked it a question. If so, this would give me hope through all my years of struggle, and I would eagerly await the release of death. So he knew he was coming back, man. He had hope in reincarnation, man. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't really even get upset about somebody dying, man. Because it's just their time to rest. They're not dying because basically America teaches, or Babylon teaches you, that death is a bad thing, man. You die, oh man, you going to hell. There's no such thing as hell. When you die, everyone, the wicked as well, they go back to the spiritual world, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua lays them to rest until they come back in their third and fourth generation, man. This is the way the Lord set it up. Now my damn blue letter won't run. Let me see if I can. Now my blue letter is not running, not working. Let me get this real quick. This is Second Kings. This is Second Kings 2. It's Second Kings 2. In 2 Kings 2 and verse 9, it says, "And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I would do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared chariots of fire and horses of fire, and parted both asunder. And Elijah went up in a whirlwind into heaven." See, Elijah didn't die. The Lord had came and got Elijah, and and Elisha was his basically his underling, or you can look at it as his I think it was his scribe. I can get it, man. My blue letter's slipping. It's not even going as like it's supposed to. But anyway, Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind. Let me finish it up. Verse 11, it says, "And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire. And these are the chariots of the Lord, with the world ignorantly called UFOs. They appeared to Elisha and Elijah. And it says, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven." So he got beamed up in a tractor, what they call a tractor beam from what they call a UFO, man. And he went into the chariot. In verse 12, it says, and Elisha saw it. See, he's seen Elijah being beamed up into, like I said, what the world ignorant called UFOs. Those were the angels traveling. It says, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. See that? For the Israelites, man. It's one for everybody. It goes to show you that the Lord is only dealing with the true men of the Lord, man, is teaching the correct doctrine. It says, and horses thereof, and he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into two pieces. So he was shocked. He ripped his clothes, man. So he was shocked to see the chariot take Elijah. He didn't die. He was just basically taken up into the heavens, man. But the scriptures tell you that Elijah came back again. Elijah came back again. He didn't die when he was taken up into the chariot, but the Lord said he would come back. This is Malachi 4 and verse 5. It says, "Behold, I will send Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua." So the Lord sent Elijah back again, man. So he lived once, and the Lord said he sent him back again. And I'm gonna show you he came back a third time, and that was through the prophet Abba Bivens, man. Let me read that again. It says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." So the Lord brought back the Elijah before the judgment of the Lord, man, to teach our people to repent and return to the Lord. And that happened in our lifetime. That we was able to, start with the apostles and elders, understand that this prophecy happened in our lifetime as well, man. But let me check this out. This is Luke 1 in verse 13. It says, "But the angel said unto him," it's talking to his father, it says, "Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard. and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. This is speaking of John the Baptist. He says, and thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth. For he shall be great in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. And I believe John the Baptist was a Nazarite. It says, and he shall be filled with the Holy Spirit even from his mother's womb. And so from the time John the Baptist came out of his mother's womb, he was filled with the Holy Spirit, man. It says, and many of the children of Israel shall be turned to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, their father. And that's what Malachi said would happen. So John the Baptist was Elijah coming back. And it says, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah. See, Elijah. He will come back, man. And this is what the prophecy said would happen. It says, to turn the hearts to the fathers, to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready the people prepared for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. And this is what happened now, man. This is what happened now. Start with, like I said, through the men of the Lord, man. Turning you back to your fathers by teaching this word, man. This is Matthew 11 in verse 13. And it says, for all the prophets and the law prophesied unto John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elijah. See, if you will receive it, if you will understand, this is Elijah. So all the prophets, the Old Testament, prophesied until John, which is Elijah, because he was coming back. He says, which was for to come, that he have ears to hear, let him hear. So if you can understand that John the Baptist was Elijah, that was taken up with Elisha, he took it up into the heavens, he never died. But John the Baptist came back and he died by beheading. They beheaded John the Baptist. So this goes to show you, man, reincarnation is real, man. Let me hit this real quick, because this right here shows you that the Lord came back several times as well, man. This is Matthew 1 and verse Matthew 1 and 1. It says, the book of the generations of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, which is the son of David, is King Solomon. So King Solomon was Yahushua, if you can receive it, the son of Abraham. See, he came back as Isaac as well, man. And he was also the first Adam. So the Lord came back several times as well, man. And, this is, if you can understand it, a lot of people can't understand that the Lord came back several times. Just like Elijah came back several times. But this is Daniel. And this goes to show you that whatever you was doing in your past life, you're going to be doing now, man. Because the Lord told Daniel to go and, let me get it. This is Daniel 12, and just hit the point. This is Daniel 12, and verse 13, it says, but go thou thy way till the end be. See, he told Daniel to go thou thy way until the end be. So we're approaching the end now. It says, for thou shalt rest, you will die, and stand in thy lot. So you will die, you will take your rest, and you will come back and stand in your lot at the end of days. See, Daniel's standing now, man. So Daniel has to be on the earth at this time, because he told them plainly that you will come back and do the same thing you was doing in the ancient world, man. You was prophesying, you was a prophet of the Lord. Let me get that in NLT. It says, as for you, go your way until the end. You will rest, and then at the end of the days, you will rise again. See, you will rise again. That shows you reincarnation, to receive the inheritance set aside for you. See, he was going to get a reward for being a man of the Lord, man. And that tells you that, and then Apostle Paul reiterates that, man, about receiving a reward for prophesying his word, man. This is the GNT. It says, and you, Daniel, be faithful to the end. See, the Lord told Daniel to be faithful to the end. Believe and have faith in the Lord to the very end. It says, then you will die. But you will rise to receive your reward at the end of time. See, he told him you will die, but you will come back. And that's why the fear of death, the Lord has put the spirit on us not to fear death, because we know that our spirits never die, man. So in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, praise was edifying. Shalom. Shalom.